tell her way to 50 bottles, and she tell me say when, and I say church.
Hello everybody, Nelson Orharbor bringing you another edition of Bloghoggers. And if you haven't got the ESPN update, or if you don't follow a lot of reporters on Twitter, you've just received word that Deron Williams, all-star point guard, has signed with the Brooklyn Nets. Staying with the Nets, he's going to sign a 5-year, $100 million contract. This is big news, especially if you're a Mavs fan, because he was deciding between the two teams, and now it kind of puts the Mavericks in a bind where, they're looking for free agents now to, play with Dirk and, try and keep the Mavs competitive. We all know they got swept last year by OKC, and they're trying to get younger, but with the free agents that are available, it's not a deep group of free agents, but we'll see what they'll be able to do. With the Brooklyn Nets now, they got Joe Johnson yesterday in a trade with the Atlanta Hawks, sending like half their roster to the Hawks for Joe Johnson, who's scheduled to make over $89 million within the next 4 years. Now, they already have Gerald Wallace, who they re-signed to a 4-year, $40 million deal. Plus, they're bringing in Deron Williams, and they have Joe Johnson. Is that going to leave room for Dwight Howard to jump on board? We'll see what happens if they can trade Brook Lopez and Marshawn Brooks and or Chris Humphries to Orlando for Dwight Howard. I'm not really sure if they'll be able to pull that off, but if they do, then obviously the NBA is doing something behind the scenes, in my opinion, to really create these three-headed monsters within the league. In my personal opinion, I think the best trade that the Magic can receive for Dwight Howard is getting Andrew Bynum from the Lakers. I know that's going to create another three-headed monster with Gasol, Kobe, and Dwight, but if the Magic want to be able to compete next year and stay, in the Eastern Conference discussion, then Andrew Bynum is the most talented piece that they can put in place of Dwight Howard. So we'll see what happens in that front. I don't think Dwight's going to end up in Dallas now with Deron Williams not being in a Maverick, but getting a little emotional here. But we'll see what Dallas can do to kind of reload and, if not, rebuild pretty much. So we got to see what they can do to get Dirk some talent around here. They have a lot of young pieces now to the draft with Jay Crowder from Marquette, Bernard James from Florida State, and then their first round pick, Jared Cunningham from Oregon State. So we'll see what happens. I like the pick of Jared Cunningham. They're trying to mold him into a Westbrook type of player. Obviously, going 24th, you're not going to be as highly talented as Russell Westbrook, but he has the skills and capabilities to be Westbrook type of player. He was a defensive standout at Oregon State, and also is very athletic and can get to the rim with ease. So we'll see what happens with the Mavericks and their future picks. Okay, so moving on, another disappointing day for the Mavericks in a couple long months of disappointment. With Odom's fallout, with the sweep on the hands of OKC, and now the free agent letdown from Deron Williams. So a couple of free agents to look out for with the Mavericks: Jeremy Lin, Steve Nash, to try and replace Jason Kidd, who's probably going to be dipping Dallas to head to the BK Brooklyn Nets. And then also Goran Dragic from the Houston Rockets, who is a restricted free agent, but look for him to get some money this offseason. And also some big men to look out for: Ersan Ilyasova from the Milwaukee Bucks. He had a great year with them last year. And Chris Kaman to try and fill the void of Jan Mahimi, who will be leaving most likely to get a bigger contract and a bigger role with another team. So, with that being said, let's move past the Mavericks and look at the NBA draft that occurred last week. I like what a lot of teams did. I like what OKC did, stealing Perry Jones from the rest of the NBA. I think he's going to have a great career in OKC, especially with him being alongside Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, all those young players. I like what Houston did too, getting Jeremy Lamb, Royce White, and Terrence Jones. They got a three-headed monster in the draft, and they got a lot of great players: Courtney Lee, Kevin Martin, who they might trade, Luis Scola. So we'll see how they can do, not only on the floor but off the floor as well, as they try and create some cap room to trade to get a superstar. And then I also like what New Orleans did. Of course, they got Anthony Davis, but they also got Austin Rivers, so that creates a little 1-2 punch down in the Big Easy. So those are the three teams that I liked what they did. And also Boston too, getting Jared Sullinger and Fab Melo to kind of beef up their inside. We'll be posting more stuff about free agency within the next week, and especially with the Olympics coming up, a lot of teams are trying to solidify their rosters before some of their players head off to London. So check back with us on bloghoggers.com, and also follow me on Twitter at Nello, Nel_O. I'll take it easy.